is up, good people? Jungle Link here. Hope you're doing well. Charles Gasparino, Fox News reporter. The guy's really a clown, but he's reporting that he also has a scoop based on what Eleanor Terrett was reporting, that the SEC and Ripple, they are in fact working diligently on some sort of settlement agreement. And I don't doubt that he's hearing these whispers. I don't doubt that that's actually happening. We've seen throughout the crypto industry what's going on. They're just sweeping settlements across the board. They're dropping cases, settling cases out. And so that makes a lot of sense. But this is what I have issue with his reporting. I feel like he's almost spitballing or adding something to his report. So it seems like he knows a little bit more than Eleanor Terrett, because he said what they are actually discussing is looking to see if XRP can be treated as a pure commodity the same as Ethereum. Now, this is an old and tired argument. First and foremost, the SEC, Charles Gasparino, no one else gets to make that decision. It is law of the land. It was decided by Judge Torres. And if you don't like it, you have to continue with this appeal and try to argue in appeals why XRP shouldn't be treated as a commodity. And secondarily, it's kind of a strange wording, the way he put it out there. I'm not a securities attorney, but what I know is pretty much everything is a commodity. Securities themselves are a commodity, just a subset that have special regulations that require registration because you're raising funds from the public. So you would never examine something to see, is it a commodity? Is it a pure commodity? Like, no one looks at gold or no one looks at oil and says, I wonder if this has some sort of makeup that gives it the attributes of a commodity. You don't do that. We test things to see if they are securities, if they require registration. So part of me feels like he just wants to feel important, and he's trying to add a little bit on to Eleanor Terrett's reporting. I think we may see something happen here shortly. Of course, it is more complicated because we have a judge's ruling here, and to change some of this stuff, you likely would have to go back to the judge, which is probably not a fast process. I think they could probably do something maybe in the interim, maybe have some agreements that allow them to drop this case. And at least that would signal to the market that, hey, it's full steam ahead here. I mean, we already know that's the case, but that could give us even more power. So maybe that's what's happening. They're going to drop this appeal. And then when they have some sort of safe harbor or some sort of new laws, then they could go back to Judge Torres and ask this to be re-reviewed, get rid of that injunction, maybe get rid of these penalties, things of that nature. But in the interim, maybe they could have some agreements between them that would allow them just to get rid of this case in its entirety. Only time will tell, but I just feel that clown man, Charles Gasparino, he's spicing up his story just a bit here. Now, there's been this document making the rounds today on Twitter, and it's on sec.gov, but people are pitching this as if the SEC themselves drafted it. It's titled, Comprehensive Proposal, XRP as a Strategic Financial Asset to the United States. And it breaks down, its ability to replace nostrovostros and all sorts of stuff. This is what you have to understand. Anyone can send something in there and it can be posted for public commentary. It doesn't mean that the SEC endorses this document or they drafted it. It has nothing really to do with the SEC. This document was drafted by an outside third party, and the SEC is just putting it up on their website for public commentary. We've seen this a lot in the past. This is nothing new. So don't be fooled by that. I see a lot of accounts out there pushing this as if the SEC is pushing for this XRP as a strategic asset of the United States, and they're not. It's just something that was sent into them to be posted for public commentary. Simple as that. Now today, the Genius Act passed the Banking Committee, bringing the United States closer to stablecoin regulations. Now, out of the whole litany of things we could see passed here, that's the one that doesn't excite me the most. I want to get into, the classification of crypto assets, who has regulatory authority over them, like the CFTC, the SEC, things of this nature, what assets actually need to be registered and treated as a security, things of this kind of ordeal. That's what I want to see, but this is an important first step. Remember this, stable coins, they bridge the gap. They are the bridge between the real world, the traditional financial world, and the digital world, the blockchain world. And it's going to make crypto assets that much more liquid because you can get value onto the blockchain and off the blockchain lightning fast. This is just going to take everything to the next level. This is important. But we also have to understand that, stable coins, they're not cryptocurrencies. They're not a replacement. They are just an extra tool based on blockchain, but they don't replace Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, things of this nature. David Schwartz was talking about this today. People have been giving Ripple a lot of guff about, RLUSD, their stable coin. Well, it could be frozen, it could be clawed back. And that's the way it's going to have to be, especially if you want to be compliant with the West, with the United States, with Europe. If you want to compete in these territories, you're going to have these features. And a lot of the stable coins today already have these features. I think people just don't know it or understand that. And that's part about bridging, blockchain that's permissionless. And stable coins are something very different. They're somewhere between. Yes, they're digital, they're fast, they're useful, but they are not cryptocurrencies. Inherently, they always have counterparty risk because guess what? Someone has to hold that dollar. And even if you have your token, your RLUSD, or you have your Tether, or you have your Circle stablecoin, they could just go, hey, we're going to keep our dollar and you keep your coin, and you have nothing. You always have to trust that some counterparty with the stablecoin is holding the dollars or the treasuries or whatever that gives that coin value. So I don't think we really have to worry about this stuff. It's actually good because you have this bridge asset that's halfway between the old world, the traditional world, and the blockchain world. And what does this tell us? Well, of course, we still need traditional cryptos. We need our XRP. We need our Bitcoins. We need our Ethereums because those are totally permissionless and we don't have any counterparty risk. And so you can have both assets that play their roles, move this space forward towards mass adoption, but they don't replace each other. They complement each other. And I think that's important. Look, RLUSD being able to be frozen, being able to be clawed back, that is nothing special. Almost every stablecoin out there has these features, and you're going to need to. If you want to operate in this country or a lot of countries out there, you're going to have this ability. So if you have someone that's money laundering, if you have some, court order to seize that money, you're going to have to comply with that. And so that's why we see RLUSD designed from day one to be compliant, to be, institutional grade. And this is just going to make our decentralized assets like XRP that much more usable, valuable, and money can flow like information from the traditional world to the blockchain. And this is just a full integration, a full replacement of the current system. This is a big deal. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.